How old are you?
96.
96.
Mm-hmm.
And can you give us your full name?
Uh,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
Can you give me your full name?
Margaret Ruth Summers.
Margaret Ruth Summers.
Summers. Mm-hmm.
And what was your maiden name?
Webster.
Webster?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where were you born, Margaret?
What?
Where were you born?
Right here in Oneida.
In Oneida?
Brown County.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what were your parents' names?
My mother's name was Celinda Hill Webster. And then my dad was Noah Webster.
Okay. Did you know your grandparents at all?
No, I didn't know the grandparents.
No?
No. I just know one, the grandpa was August.
August?
Yeah, my dad's father.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and my mother's father was Abraham Hill.
Abraham Hill?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, was Abraham Hill.
Oh, okay. And did you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I had 2 brothers and Elizabeth and Cora and 2 sisters.
Can you give me the names of
Yeah, Cora Dockstader and Elizabeth Dockstader and John Webster and Melvin Webster.
Okay. Did your did you go to school somewhere when you were small?
Yeah,
Remember
here,
going to school?
here at government school.
There was a government school?
Yeah, you know, the St. Norbert's now. I mean,
Oh, up by the seminary?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, on Seminary Road?
Yeah,
Okay. You
yeah,
went to
that's
school
where
there?
I went.
Okay. Did you go anywhere else to school?
Oh yeah, I went to Flanders, South Dakota. Mm-hmm.
Did you graduate from Flanders?
No, I didn't. I quit
Okay.
after 2 years.
And what year was that when you went there?
Oh, I would know.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Let's
What
see.
did you do after you got out of school?
Well, I went to work.
Okay.
I worked at Larson's canning factory.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
And when did you get married?
I got married in 29, June 12th, 1929.
And who did you marry?
Austin Summers.
Austin Summers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did your husband do?
He was just tree surgery.
Tree surgery?
Yeah,
Oh.
he was a tree surgery from Appleton.
Did you and Austin talk in Oneida language?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We talked all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you teach your children to talk Oneida?
They wouldn't learn. They
No.
didn't
No.
want to learn.
They didn't want to learn?
Like,
They didn't want to learn?
they didn't want to learn the Oneida language. So, and I've got, I had 7 children.
Could you name your children for me?
Yeah, there was Gilbert, Edward, Austin Jr., Jimmy, and then the girl was Loretta Skender now.
Are they all living today?
No, Gilbert is dead. Then the rest are living. Let's see now. Yeah, I think they're all living.
Okay. And do they all live around here?
Milwaukee. Gilbert lived in Milwaukee, and Austin Jr. lives in Port Washington. And then Jimmy lives here, and Loretta lives She lives in Milwaukee, but she's moving down here to take care of me.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah. So,
So you'll be able to live at home then?
yeah. I'm going to stay home.
Okay.
Lois, can you ask her if she still can speak Oneida?
Do you still speak Oneida?
But,
Do you still speak Oneida? The language, the Oneida language, do you still speak it?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I go to class. We go to class every day.
Are you teaching Oneida?
No, we just talk.
Oh,
Yeah. They,
where do you do that?
at the log cabin.
At the cultural center?
No. It's a log cabin now, where I don't know where I am.
I think it's on FF.
Yeah,
Yeah.
off from FF. Yeah, that's where.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you go there every day?
every day.
Oh, just to talk?
It's just to talk. We don't teach nobody. They
Uh-huh.
just and
Talk with each other?
yeah, talk each other, and that's up until Friday. Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah, that's up until Thursday.
Okay.
Mhm.
Monday through Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh. Does the bus take you there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, they come after me.
Okay.
Different ones.
Oh, different ones come
Yeah.
after you and take you? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day. And then they bring me back to the eating place,
Uh-huh.
and then from there I take the bus home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can
Mhm.
you remember anything that you did when you were a child? Games you played or
Games.
where you went
Oh, we lived in the woods,
in the woods?
so most of our play, what's called, was in the woods.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That was my sister, two of my sisters, and two of my brothers. And then they, as they grew older, they left.
Uh-huh.
Can
you name your sisters and brothers?
Yeah, there was Cora, John, Elizabeth, and Melvin, and I.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And are you the only one living today?
I'm the only one left, yeah.
Okay.
All the rest are dead.
When you were small, when you were a little girl, did you have to help with chores? Did you have anything to do?
Oh yeah, my parents had cows, and we had to help with work. What did I do? Mostly. Well, we used to do everything, like feed the cows,
Yeah.
take the hay, pitch the hay and put it in the mangers. Mm-hmm. I was brought up on a farm.
And did you have to haul your water from
No.
someplace? No.
Oh, yeah, from the well
You had
to
a
the
well?
house.
You had
Yeah.
a well?
Yeah, we didn't have running water.
Uh-huh.
It was a well water. Well, spring. It was a spring water.
What kind of a house did you have?
A log cabin.
A log cabin? How many rooms?
Just two and upstairs.
2 rooms downstairs
Down
and
and
one upstairs?
one whole one upstairs. And that was between John, Cora, Melvin, Elizabeth, Cora, and I. 5 of us, I guess.
Yeah,
That, and my father and mother.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have lamps that you used for light?
Lamps, yeah. Table lamps,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And what kind of heat did you have?
wood,
Wood?
yeah. We had these. Maybe you never saw the stove. The oven is on top of the stove.
No.
You never,
On top, the oven on top?
huh?
The oven's on top?
Yeah, oven on top, and the stove had 4 burners,
Uh-huh.
and then the oven was extra.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
And
had that in your house?
yeah, that's what heated up the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you cooked on it too then?
No,
No?
she had a regular cook stove, wood
Oh.
stove.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Okay. What kind of crops did your parents grow in those days?
What kind of what?
What kind of crops did they grow? Vegetables or?
Oh, everything. Because we had cows, they had to raise corn
Yeah.
and oats for the cows,
Uh-huh.
and potatoes and beans, and garden stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of canning?
Oh yeah, my mother always can. She had shelves down the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like a cubby hole down under the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's where she kept her canned stuff.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Did you later on can yourself too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. I helped. Yeah. Then I didn't can no more after I got married.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Oh.
we bought everything,
Oh.
instead of canning.
Mm-hmm. What
Well,
kind of,
maybe tomatoes. That's right. He took a contract of tomatoes,
yeah.
and so we used to can tomatoes.
Oh.
Hmm. Yeah, we had a lot of tomatoes.
And what kind of work did your husband do?
He was tree surgery.
Tree surgery.
Yeah,
Did he go up in the woods to do
yeah. Go up in the woods. The company was in Appleton. That's where the head went. Yeah,
that? He
and
worked
they'd
for them?
send him out in the woods,
Oh, okay.
stay there for the week.
He'd stay for the week?
Hmm.
Oh.
They stayed for the week. And then Saturdays they'd come back, and Sundays they went back. Hmm.
How old were you when you went away to school?
When I went to school, here at the government school, I must have been about 6 years old.
6 years old. Did you stay there?
Yeah, we stayed right there. We didn't go back and forth, although we lived on Brown County.
Yeah.
But the government, you know where the
Yeah.
government school is, yeah. Hmm. And
You were 6
I
years old?
stayed right there
Yeah.
at the school.
How long did you go there?
Oh, about maybe 3 years, 3 or 4 years. And then I went to Wittenberg, and then I went to Flanders.
You went to Wittenberg first
Uh-huh,
and
with
then to Flanders?
John Flanders, South
How old were
Dakota.
you then?
Oh, I must have been 14, 15 when I went to Flanders,
Okay.
South Dakota.
How long did you stay at Flanders?
We had to stay 3 years
3 years?
before the government would pay my fare back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you couldn't pay your fare back and forth, you had to stay at the school.
Oh.
So I had to stay 3 years at the school.
Did you come home at all during those
No,
3 years?
no,
No?
because my parents couldn't afford
To pay your
the
way?
fare. Yeah, the train. It was a train
Oh.
that come right to Oneida.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a depot in Oneida?
Mm-hmm. There was a depot.
Can you describe Oneida, how it used to be to me?
Well, the depot was there, and there was 2 grocery stores and 2 taverns, and that was and there was a dance hall. That's right, there was 2 taverns, yeah, and one was a dance hall. One had a dance hall.
Was there a gas station too?
A gas station, yeah, one gas station. Bob Appleton owned it.
Uh-huh. What about a drugstore?
About
A drugstore?
a drug, yeah, there was a drugstore. Kersteiner,
Okay.
yeah, Kersteiner had a drugstore. And then 2 grocery stores. And there was another building between the grocery store and the other grocery store. There was a building in there that was a government office.
Relief office?
Yeah, relief office, yeah.
What did they do in the relief office?
I just took care of the people, you know,
Okay.
get information.
Did they have a doctor there?
Huh?
Did they have a doctor there?
If you needed one, yeah. Otherwise, they should just take you to the hospital and any doctor worked on you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they have a dentist there too?
Oh, yeah. There was a dentist and a druggist and St. Joseph's School.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, St. Joseph's School was there. And
How many churches were there?
2,
Two?
3.
3?
The Lutheran, Episcopal, and Catholic.
Oh.
Yeah, there was three churches.
Which church did you go to?
Lutheran,
Luther?
yeah. I went to the Lutheran. And but going to school, we had to go like Catholic.
Oh.
I guess the Catholics owned it. I don't know. But we had to go like to the Catholic. There was no Lutheran teaching.
From the government school, then did you go to the Catholic school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had to go. We had to go there. Yeah,
And then you went to Wittenberg from there?
yeah. Then I went to Edinburgh. I had to stay 3 years
At Wittenberg too?
at Edinburgh too because they couldn't pay my fare back.
Oh.
And then I went to Flanders. I stayed 3
Another
years,
3 years.
right through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you get
vacation.
lonesome?
Oh, there was just a few of us, but they'd take us out on picnics and
Yeah.
take us to town and, you know.
Was there other Oneidas there with
Oh
you?
yeah, there was quite a few Oneidas that stayed out summer. Mm-hmm. Well, it was mostly Oneidas, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any Chippewas there. I don't think. I don't remember.
So when you were growing up in your growing up years too, then did you also learn anything about herbs, medicine, herbal medicine?
No, not
Did
really.
your mother use any kind of herbs?
Oh yeah, my mother used a lot of Indian medicine
Yeah.
that she'd go out in the woods and come back with brush. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I was brought up on Indian medicine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of food did you eat?
Food,
Uh-huh.
just plain, mostly pork.
Mostly pork?
Mostly pork. Once in a while we'd have beef.
Did you have, your parents
We
raised-
butchered.
Okay.
We
You
butchered, yeah, cows and pigs.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to butcher.
How
Yeah,
did you keep the meat?
down the basement, down in a cubby hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the only way. We didn't have no. Pretty soon we got an ice box where they come with a chunk of ice and put it in there, and that's where we kept our food.
Okay. But before that, you kept it in the cellar.
Yeah, we kept it down the basement, down. It was just a cubby hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it as deep as this. Yeah.
Okay. Was
You
any of your family involved in the tribal politics? Did they have anything to do with the tribe?
No, we didn't.
No.
We just followed what they said
Yeah.
should be done.
Yeah.
Hmm Otherwise, we didn't follow.
Did you work outside of your home at
Oh.
all?
At the school?
No. When you were small, did you work like on any farms
Oh,
outside?
yeah. My parents had a farm.
Yeah.
They had a barn, and our house was a log house
Uh-huh.
with a dugout
Underneath. Yeah.
foundation. And yeah, otherwise, and then when I was about 6, 7 years old, I guess, I went to the government school.
Mm-hmm.
There, I had to stay
Yeah.
year round.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I just thought, my parents had horses.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they come after me?
Yeah.
Yeah, during the summer.
Yeah.
But
You stayed there?
Yeah, I stayed at the school.
Oh, okay. Did they live very far from the school?
Oh yeah. We lived on U, and the school was, you know where it is. Yeah.
On Seminary Road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Seminary Road.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I don't know why they couldn't come after us during the summer, because we lived on county line,
Yeah.
and it's not far from the school.
Do you remember how many horses you had? And
Oh yeah.
how many horses did you have?
Oh,
Your
three.
parents have?
3 horses, and oh, they must have had about 15 cows.
15 cows?
Yeah, about 15 cows.
Were they milking cows?
Yeah, milking cows.
What did
And
you do with the
then
milk?
we kept getting heifers, calves.
What did they do with the milk?
They used to bring it up to Oneida.
Cheese factory?
There was a cheese factory there.
Oh, okay. Oh, there was a cheese factory in Oneida
Yeah,
too.
there was a cheese factory next to the Hendricks's grocery store. It was an addition. That was a cheese factory.
Okay.
So,
So how long was that cheese factory there?
long time.
Long time?
Long time before, a long time after that.
When you came back from school, from Flandreau, what did you do when you came back from Flandreau?
I had to go work, look for work in Green I did housework, stayed right at the house
Oh, yeah?
and did there, just like a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some good people that I worked for.
Was that before you got married then?
Yeah, that was, after I got married, I stayed home. Yeah. I got married June 29th, 1929.
1929?
That's when I got married. And we had did I have 3 boys?
I think you said 4.
Gilbert and Austin and Jimmy. I had 3 boys and 1 girl. No, more than that.
So you said you had 7 children, right?
Yeah, she did that.
I really
You
don't
started
know,
with Gilbert.
but I had one girl.
Yeah, Loretta.
Mhm,
Yeah.
I had one girl. And it was really 6 boys, but one died while he was while he was an infant yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I had one girl. And Jimmy and Junior, Austin Junior, is alive and the adult's alive. Just 3 of them left.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest are dead. Hmm.
Are you still living in the house that you and your husband lived in?
No, this is a new house.
Oh.
Yeah, oh, well, built about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Hmm. And where did we live before we come to? I guess we just lived in a house. We used to pay $10 a month rent.
For rent?
Yeah, $10 a month rent.
Cheap rent, huh?
Cheap rent. Yeah.
Can you think of any other stories about your growing up years?
Oh, I wouldn't know what. Nothing exciting happening. Only, let's see, how old was he? We had a close call. The, what you call that? Hay thing that goes round.
Rake?
What?
A rake?
No, I don't know now. But it runs by
Baler.
machine.
The baler.
Baler, yeah, maybe that's what it was. We had a close call. The boy's pants got caught.
Oh, really?
He was too close to the machine,
Oh.
and his pants got caught. And the only thing that saved him is because he tore.
Oh.
Otherwise, he would have went.
In the machine?
Yeah, in the
Oh.
machine. Yeah, that's the only mishap that happened.
Remember anything about any of the holidays? Like
Anyway,
anything about the holidays, like 4th of July?
yeah, we always come to Oneida for the celebration. They always had celebrations in Oneida.
What did they do?
Well, there was always a parade and things to sell. Yeah, that's all. Everybody would go.
Everybody would
Yeah.
go.
Mhm.
What about Christmas?
Christmas, usually just in the house. Well, we used to come to the church to get our bundle, and the bundle was a blanket with stuff in it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how they gave things out. There was a lot of things, they give toys, and they'd all put it in that blanket and tie it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Did you have a Christmas tree?
no,
No?
we never had a Christmas tree.
Oh.
No.
After you were married, did you have a Christmas
Oh
tree
yeah, after I was married,
Yeah.
yeah, with our kids, we had a Christmas tree. Mhm.
then? What about Easter? Did you celebrate anything at Easter?
No, we just went to church, to Lutheran church, and that was it. Well, we'd boil eggs,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and that was it.
Do you remember anything about the hospital they used to have in Oneida?
Hospital, I never was in it, but I knew where it was. It was at the government school, the last building. on the place. The It was over here.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Was that the only place they ever had a hospital?
Yeah, that's the only place that I know of. There was nothing at the Episcopal Church. Yeah, that's where the hospital was,
Okay.
at the government school. Hmm. And let's see. Yeah, being on a farm, we stayed mostly on a farm, you know.
You didn't do no traveling?
No, we didn't do no traveling. We,
Stayed pretty much at home?
yeah, just at home.
Was there any kind of games that you played with your brothers and sisters?
Oh, we were in the woods,
Yeah.
so we just climbing trees, and there was a tree that was over with the wind. The wind brought roots and roots and everything up.
Yeah.
We made seats in there and made off. It was a
Car.
something, yeah. We, with the roots,
Yeah.
we could make seats,
Uh-huh.
and we'd sit there, and some had made off. They had a wheel. Uh, yeah.
Did you have any close neighbors?
Oh yeah, the one right across the road, kind of uphill. We were kind of uphill, and then a bachelor was our next door neighbor, and then this was woods. That was ours. We had 40-some acres. That was ours, and it was mostly woods. Woods, nobody living there. There was one house quite a ways up. Yeah, the houses were far apart.
Yeah.
Hmm. And like on our road now, there was just that one house that was way over here, and then ours, and then the bachelors, and then another man had a house behind his, his house.
Yeah.
Here's the road to his house, and it was way back over here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there wasn't much neighbors.
Did your neighbors have children?
Oh yeah, some. Well, the bachelor next to us didn't, but partied quite a ways, maybe a block or so. Then the other house was there.
Were your neighbors Oneidas?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they were Oneidas. They were swamps. Halda Swamp. I guess you wouldn't know
I
them.
don't think I know.
No, it was swamps. 2 swamps. What other? Oh, what was the name? Oh, I can't remember. Our other neighbor, quite a ways.
Yeah.
See, this was on County Line,
Uh-huh.
County
Yeah.
U.
How many acres of land did you have?
We had 40-some acres.
47 acres?
Yeah. Went way up, there was a creek, over the creek, up the hill, and he used to have to plant a lot of corn,
Yeah.
because we had cows.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. And he had to have a hay field. And then our garden stuff, we planted a lot of it.
Yeah.
And we even taught a pig to dig our potatoes out.
How did you do that?
I don't know, the boys just kept at it and he'd dig with his nose. He'd go right down every plant, he'd dig. And then we'd have to pick him up to quit. He wouldn't quit, he just kept right on going. So we had to pick him up too. And he got quite big.
There must have been an experience.
It was. It was fun to see him because we just had to pick some potatoes
Yeah.
and put it in bushel baskets because he went and dug everything up. Yeah.
After you were married and you had your kids, did you ever go to Sturgeon Bay to pick cherries?
Oh yeah, we went to Sturgeon Bay, the whole
The
family.
whole family?
Mm-hmm. Would go to make money, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
We'd
would
come
you
back.
stay there then?
Mm-hmm. We stayed right there. We'd leave the house and stay in Sturgeon Bay.
Did you do that every year?
What?
Did you do that every year?
Oh yeah, every year for a while,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. Then my brother got married, my sister got married, two of my sisters got married. So it used to be just my younger brother and I
Uh-huh.
and my mother
Oh.
would go to Sturgeon Bay.
Oh, that was before you were married?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
before
okay.
I was married, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'd go to Sturgeon Bay. And it was fun. Yeah.
Anything else you can remember from your childhood?
Oh, what else? I don't remember.
Hard time remembering?
Yeah, it's hard to remember things, you know. Oh, I just know that we had to stay 3 years at the school without coming home during the vacation.
That was something that stood out for you.
Yeah, and then the same way when I was grown up,
Yeah.
while I was 16, no, I was 17 when I come back, so I must have been up there when I was, what, 14, 14, 15, 16, yeah. And I stayed right at the school. I had to, because they couldn't pay my fare, you know, to Flandreau.
Yeah.
So,
Did you ever try to teach your children to talk Oneida?
to try to,
Did you ever try to teach your children to talk Oneida?
oh yes, but they weren't interested.
They weren't interested?
Mm,
Oh.
they just wouldn't stay to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the oldest one knew quite a bit, but he's dead. Yeah, the oldest one knew quite a bit. But from him on, they didn't care. Mm-mm. So,
Is there anything else that you can remember that you'd like
Oh.
to tell us about?
yeah, I remember the flu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the flu. Oh, what do you call that flu? Lot at the school, at the government school.
Uh-huh.
That was. They just died off.
They died from it?
Yeah,
But you don't
lot.
remember what the name of it was?
I didn't, or none of my brothers or sisters didn't. Yeah. Then we got sick, but
Yeah.
we pulled out
A
of
lot
it.
of people died?
Yeah, half of them died.
How old were you then?
Oh, about 13,
Oh.
yeah, around that.
Did that happen in Oneida? At the Oneida
Yeah,
school?
yeah, at the government school.
Oh, okay.
You know where the
Yeah.
government school
Yeah.
is now.
Yeah.
That's where it happened. And yeah, there was quite a few that died right there at the school from that flu. What they called it, Spanish influenza, they called
Spanish
it.
influenza?
Yeah, they called it the Spanish influenza.
Oh.
Yeah, and quite a few died. I got sick, but I pulled out of it. Yeah, I had a girlfriend, Vita Brown, her name was. She died there. Yeah,
Was she Oneida too?
yeah, yeah. But there's no Browns no more,
No,
is there?
no. None that I know anyway.
Me either. Yeah, there is no Browns no more. But there was at that time. And her name was Vita.
Anything else that you'd like to tell us?
But, oh, nothing really exciting. Oh, one time we watched the government horses run away with the wagon on, attached two horses. Oh my God, they come and hit the corner of the house and knocked that board right off. That board come right to, and it's so straight, it pulled off as, because he was running and the wagon must have scraped it.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's the only.
That was exciting, huh?
Yeah, that was exciting. Yeah, because we were standing there, then we all run, when we see them coming round.
What were you going to say, Lisa?
About her married life, if she ever worked after her kids moved out and things.
Did you work after your children were growing up?
Oh yes, yeah. That's when I did work after my children were gone.
What did you do?
Housework.
Housework?
Yeah, I'd go to Green Bay
Yeah.
and go to the employment office and they'd give you a job. And some were nice and some were snotty,
Yeah.
But
you mentioned Larson's before. Did you work at
oh
Larson's?
yeah, I worked at Larson's a good many years. Yeah. That's a canning factory.
Yeah. Was that seasonal?
Seasonal.
work?
Yeah, it is seasonal. Yeah.
And then you do housework?
Then I did housework after that.
Oh.
I did canning factory work first, and then after that, then I done the
housework.
Yeah. So.
Do you know how many grandchildren you have?
Oh, I lost count. I lost count. But I got a lot of I know I got 3 great-great-grandchildren.
3 great.
Yeah, 3 of them so far. But they'll increase. Yeah, and grandchildren, I just don't
know how many.
couldn't count.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just for my daughter, she has 7 kids.
7?
Mm-hmm. So, and 2 girls is married already and 1 boy. So there's the grandchildren right there. So.
Anything else, Lisa? Gordy?
No, can't think of anything.
Anything else you can think of that you'd like to tell us?
Not really.
No.
How about,
no.
we didn't touch on things about what you would say to
Oh,
children now, or,
advice.
and maybe what was the biggest change she saw in her life, because she's been around for a while.
What has been the biggest change that you've seen happen?
The biggest change?
Yeah, that you've seen happen.
Oh. I don't know. Well, we got one of these houses that they gave out.
Yeah.
We got one of them.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I'm living in now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's a 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
And oh, otherwise nothing. Yeah, and to make a living, see, even the men folks had a hard time finding jobs. So I had to go out too. Well, my kids were quite old then, and I did a lot of even putting out carrots.
Yeah.
Yeah, harvesting carrots and beets. I worked for Larson's. And the beets we had to pull out by hand.
Yeah.
It wasn't no machine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hard work.
hard work. It was hard work because sometimes the beets were so deep, you know, it's hard to pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I went to Black Creek to, what did you do at Black Creek?
Horseradish?
Huh?
Horseradish?
Yeah, horseradish. That's what it was. Yeah, I had to pull the horseradish out. And sometimes they had a machine, but sometimes it would go so far it would loosen the horseradish. Then we'd have to pull.
Yeah.
They put us in a truck, no seats. We all had to stand up in the truck.
I remember that.
Yeah. Oh dear. Now they wouldn't allow us,
No.
you know, to travel in a truck. No. But we used to go way to Black Creek to do that. They'd bring a truck and we'd have to stand up,
Yeah.
no seats. Yeah, just like cattle. We were just like cattle.
What kind of advice would you give to the kids today?
What kind of advice?
Yeah.
Oh, if they got a good job, keep it. Yeah,
Good job, keep.
yeah.
Anything else?
And go to school, finish school. That's our trouble. We didn't finish school. Yeah, maybe things would have been different if we did finish school, you know.
Yeah.
Might have got a better job. But, oh, yeah, I think that's all the way.
Okay, well, I want to thank you, Margaret. It was a nice interview.
Okay, I wish I could have told more.
You did good.
Wow, you
Yeah,
did great.
good.